Well, welcome back, everybody. It's been a long holiday break, and I'm so sorry. It was all my fault. My computer took a giant poop on me, and it took me days to recover. Well, actually, 4, maybe 5 hours, but the trauma was fully baked into my psyche. I was so mad at myself for that nonsense. And of course, it explained all the performance issues I was having the previous week. So the canary was in the coal mine, and I should have paid attention to that. And I didn't. But, happy wet Saturday if you're in California. We're going to have 4 days of rain. 4 days.
Break out your boogie boards.
Well, and on my way here, there was a little news blurb about how they'd opened the floodgates on a Santa Barbara lake for the first time in 10 years.
Wow.
In 10 years. They actually did it the last time we had a major storm system, which was exactly a decade ago, which I find rather interesting. Well, welcome back, everyone. Are we ready for some happy dark times? I'm not gonna lie. I mean, it was during the actual break. What made it frustrating for me last week is I spent a solid. The last of this campaign now is officially written.
What?
It's written with the choices that were made recovering this book. And the main path it appears that you guys are on. I've written 4 endings. There's now 4 endings.
4?
There are 4.
One of them, I guarantee it, is if we all die.
Oh, of course, right?
At least we know one ending.
Well,
reality, there's 3 endings you wrote.
No, there's 4. When I write campaigns, I don't like to create tropey endings. I've never found it fun or interesting. So I've stopped writing endings when I write campaigns. What I do is I write the intro, the lore, the world that you're going to live in and interact with. And I write all the different sub-arcs and sub-quests that could end up being your choices. And then as you guys have made all these choices, I kind of timeline and connect the string on the crazy conspiracy board, right? Connect all your dots of your choices. And then that usually helps me wrap up the arc based on what I can kind of guess might happen. But
you need to show us the board sometime.
No, you don't want to see that. There's a lot of conspiracies about Fruit Loops, chocolate milk, and Ovaltine. So no, you don't want to look at that board. It's a nightmare.
Fruit Loops and Ovaltine. Gross.
There's a reason why they sent Ovaltine up with our astronauts, and it wasn't for nutrition.
Oh, that and
Tang. What's that, Vera?
Tang was also sent to space.
Yes, and that wasn't set up for nutrition either. There were a lot of challenges in zero gravity, and it turns out that things helped. Things definitely helped. I'll just say that much. Gork, how you feeling? You look better. You look energized. You look like you've gotten some sleep.
Yes.
Yeah. I know we were worried about your health.
I decided not to go to work Friday.
Yeah, well, that'll do it. Well, I have Monday off. I am taking Monday as a creative day because we've officially got 4 of 5 people put together for our new Tuesday night game that will be taking place finally in my custom world of Kalisha. And in this custom world of Kalisha, I've written a new god pantheon. So the old god pantheon goes away. It's also a humanoid only world. So there's no humans. There's like certain kind of lineages that just don't have an anchor there. And the dominant lineages are orc, goblin, kobold, Aarakocra, and some of my more favorite kind of like lineages that I don't think people really give much attention to. And their whole history and their whole lore of the existence of their world is already all written out. And it's about how it was founded by an orc traveler and a goblin traveler. And then it was used to safely guide people from kind of autocratic and despot like worlds into this world of safety. But then, as all things, that started off with all good intentions, others don't really like good intentions sitting in their backyard. So there's some nefarious plots in it, but I've already got one player writing up an undead wizard who's a failed lich, and he has memory recall issues. So
that's wild.
Shaun of the Dead.
Yeah, pretty much. Only if Sean died instead of his buddy in the shed who plays video games all day as a zombie. So let's go back a bit. Welcome to session 55, everybody.
Whoa.
55. And for any of those watching us, I know we're on episode 40, of which I think only 5 have really made it out to the general public. But I am working on a 1 through 35 summary video that I'll post in front to kind of help. I'm pretty sure I'm going to write a story out of this one. I just haven't figured yet how I'm going to publish it.
Wow.
I have completely fallen in love with, I know, right, Swamp? I have completely fallen in love with your characters. I really have. And the way you've developed them. I think with any narrative style, there's always a general fear that characters will be uninteresting and not fun for the players. At every turn that there was that concern, you guys did such a great job of kind of redeveloping parts of your backstory or embracing certain nuances of the story that allowed you those opportunities to change. Like, I think Mira's naivete at the very beginning of her inception and now becoming, the planter of life trees and the last Kalashtar of her people that is waiting for them to come back, right? And hoping that they see that beacon and respond to it. And you also carry the staff that allows you to dreamwalk. And in having that one-on-one with your older self, I thought was so much fun. I had so much fun role-playing that. That was great. And I think Gork had some challenges because early in the play, he was this very subjective participant, right? Then he found out he was lied to. And in the Fire Warrens, he was kind of realized that he was in a very revered circumstance with Gramash. And while Abraxas is unique in his Chronos understanding of time and the different timelines that are affecting his psyche, Gork is the only one that's been kind of invoked with the power of the God Killer. And he's already earned that by accepting his heritage as a Templar orc of his past, who originally trapped the Guardians of Avernus. And then you have Abraxas, a construct, but a sentient construct or a humanoid construct. Abraxas is a displacement of self-reflection. He knows where he's from. He knows what he is. But it seems like every time he encounters things around him, other stories are told of him that he was in that he seems to be the only one able to remember. As the god Kronos has gifted him with the vision of time, the manipulation of time, and the idea that to be a champion of Kronos bears a significant weight of concern as it relates to your understanding of time. And this journey that Abraxas has been on, and I apologize, I don't have a label up for Abraxas because he is traveling today. This journey that he's been on has been both self-discovery, wondering what this entity Menti is and why has it been helping him this entire time, and really kind of the glue of the family idea of the team. While everyone's so fixated on concerns about what's been going on around them, whether it's tied them into their own personal histories of their characters, Abraxas has constantly been trying to keep this team together, and now they've essentially become a family because of his empathy, and to a certain degree, his absolute understanding that this timeline that you're currently on could be the final timeline available to discern solutions that haven't quite yet revealed themselves. Then you have Keen, somebody with a troubled past, somebody who's got some dark shadows and hidden secrets in their past, and found her way towards being involved with Kima and Allura, and being involved with the Taldori Council, as well as the Amon Defensive Council, and finding her way to the Aarakocra city where she met these four after Caladon had decided to travel with Allura over to the diplomatic city of Urlis. Here, it's Keen's awareness of self-reflection and concern about her past finds a unique opportunity to encounter an entity with their own fractured reality of their own past, seeking escape in the Fire Warrens. And through Keen's help, not only did she manage to help this entity escape the Fire Warrens, but it seems to set her on a track of something that is more capable of handling these books. That she'd make the fatal decision in the bowels of the Grand Citadel to grab the most powerful book from the gate. The book that basically allows her now to see where the others might possibly be, which has led the group on many journeys of dread and adventure at the same time, while still going through her own journey of self-discovery. Finally, some resolution to that dark past. An opportunity to spend a winter season with the only surviving child of a previous target of hers, allowing her to reconcile these dark pasts and these dark shadows, seemingly freeing her from a possible psychic fracture that could have exposed her to the dangers of these 9 books, only making her strong and more resolute in how she works with her family that she's now with, Abraxas, Gork, and Mara. One by one, these 4 have found their histories, resolved most of them to a point. However, it was the journey home for Frigette that became one of the more dramatic journeys. As we find these books fewer in number, as the majority of them have now been accounted for, Keothi, still in her time loop or bubble, whatever you want to call it, having one of the books. Frigette, her obsession with these books, nearly almost killing herself twice in the process. One timeline remembered, another timeline not remembered. But for the most part, she's been the curator of these books, keeping them safely in the Timberwolf clan's box that was used to contain these keys, these great entities of Calamity. But finally, after realizing that one of the books may actually reside in the bowels of the library of the Truth Seeker's Temple, coming home, and a strange homecoming, to say the least. A homecoming filled with dread, darkness, outcomes. And along the way, a mysterious mage on the way was discovered at Rourke's Drift, Corwin, who's still with the 5 of you now. But this journey home was not the homecoming you were expecting. The local village where you suspect your family resided in wasn't the initial target, as you found the remains of an academy that's seen a great fight, a battle of some sort, that maybe was still in the process of being resolved, or potentially just recently resolved based on what the group had seen. But Corwin, sensing Gork's bloodlust and his ire for battle, joined Gork, breaking down the front of the facade, allowing entrance into the academy by everyone. It would seem that this team, this family, has now learned better to hit it head on than wait for the response. And that's exactly what they did. They took on the pit maw that guarded the entrance down into this creature's lair, this marionette, this entity that seemed to tap into the psyche of all the remaining population of the academy and forced the team into a fractured reality, a reality they thought was a genuine threat, until finally someone had destroyed one of the devices, removing at first one person, then two, then three. Then finally, with all the devices destroyed, the entity revealed and set asunder, the team finds themselves standing in the academy, in the main hall, almost completely intact as you remember it originally to be. No sign of battle, no sign of scar or destruction. Just about a dozen of the caretakers of the academy huddled in fear, in silence, but strewn all about the floor. Ash. 3-inch deep ash. And as all of you recover, open your eyes, there's Archimedes, the Grand Inquisitor, the Grand Caretaker of the Academy, holding on to the book and handing it to Frigette after he began weeping, groaning about his intent of trying to use the book to protect the Academy from this threat that they had discovered trying to attack. And it turned out, unfortunately for Archimedes, he had fallen into the trap of this creature, this archdemon that was sent to retrieve the book. As Frigette clings on to the book, looking about the familiar, darkened interior of the academy, a familiar female gnome, older than she could remember, comes out of the small crowd of a dozen gnomes, all wearing scribe and acolyte attire of the academy. Frigette, as you recognize your mother's voice. Frigette, is that you? Running over to you, grabbing you, giving you a hug, the wet tears falling from your mother's face onto your own. She looks at you and then looks around. Where's your father? Where are your brothers and sisters? Where is everybody else that was here with us? And that's where we last left off. What would you guys like to do?
How would I know? We just got here. Why are you here? Why is he here?
Archimedes brought us here when the village was under threat and these strange creatures were attacking and raiding us. We had little or no choice. He brought us here, kept us secure. He felt he knew exactly what to do to protect us. He'd gone down to the library to retrieve the staff and the book that he felt would keep this place safe. You watch as she kind of both stares and glowers just a bit over at Archimedes, who's currently being attended to by a couple of the scribes. But I don't understand what has happened. Why? What is this ash? When did you get here? And why are you here?
Well, we got here a day or two ago. We were just doing what's right. What had to be done.
don't understand any of this. And you watch as she kind of just sits among the ash that kind of billows out, kind of like in a slight flurry as she just kind of sits on the ground looking at you, looking at the others, everyone in a kind of strange state of shock.
Frigid's gonna storm away and walk towards Archimedes and where he's at. Probably push aside one of the people that's attending to him. Where are they? Where?
I would say, I would say, kind of as your mom sits on the ground and the dust of ash kind of billows up around her. Off to your right, about 30 feet away on a chair, Archimedes is just kind of sitting with his face buried in his hands. The scribes, 2 gnomish scribes on either side, both of which you would be familiar with. Trietha and Ween are on either side of Archimedes. Both exemplary scribes. Usually their job is to basically copy older script into newer script to preserve books from being faded or, running to ruin. So they're not that far from you.
Yeah. So she's gonna storm up and just stop right in front of Archimedes in the chair, gaze down at him. Where is everyone else? What did you do?
He raises his head from his hands. Tear streaked, eyes just blood red. You could see the physical strain on him from whatever the book had done to him. I don't know. The staff was supposed to help us, but it didn't. It didn't do what it was supposed to do. The book. I've been studying this book for almost a century. It should have protected us, and it didn't. Calm, Archimedes. Calm. You see Trietha kind of look down at him and over at you. She kind of wordlessly mouths the word careful slowly.
She'll reach into her pockets and pull out a handkerchief, offer it to Archimedes.
Not even a persuasion roll, really. He takes it and looks at you and begins to wipe his face off. And Frigid, you have grown. You've seen the world, haven't you? I can see it in your eyes.
It's a lot bigger than I thought it was.
What did I do? What did I do?
Well, you did something, that's for sure. You said you had this book for a century?
Yes. It was given to me by a stranger some 100 years ago. Told me that this would be the most important thing I could ever do to set those and those on a future of import. Her name was Keothi. She also returned the Truth Seeker staff for us. And she said someday someone would come for this book, seek the staff for guidance, and it should aid you in your preparation. I think I misunderstood her words. I think I used the book, and using the book caused this destruction. You watch as he scoops up a handful of ash. I think these are our people. I think whatever that creature had done and attached itself to our psyche, whatever you and your friends were doing, was playing out as a reality in this existence. Through cruel intent, I believe all of us have killed our friends and destroyed our family. I suspect the creature fed off this, grew strong with it. It wasn't until you and your friends figured out the destructions of the anchors, the stones, that kept all of our psyche locked into one another and into that plague lord's playground, that we were finally set free. At least those of us that hadn't succumbed to the fate that had come to the others.
Can I try something?
Yeah.
I would like to stick my hand down to the ash and cast Revivify.
Nothing happens. There's a cold sense of emptiness and a inability of the ash to give you anchor. Like, it's hard for the spell to know what to glob onto, like how to focus its effort.
I'd like to go up to Fridgette's mother and just kind of kneel down to her and, assess that she's okay, but also, were they wearing anything? Any jewelry? Anything to identify them with?
My husband was wearing a ceremonial bracelet that we exchanged during our betrothed. The children all had family necklaces of the Glimmershines. Other than that, whatever they earned or wore themselves, belt buckles, hair fasteners, pins.
Okay. You're doing good.
And she just kind of goes back to just kind of quietly crying.
She'll just pat her. And then once she's calmed down, Mira's going to turn and look through the ashes to find the items.
You can give me an investigation check on that one.
It's a 12.
It's a little strange, kind of looking through everything, but there is no real sign of any surviving material. Like, it's just endless dust-like ash. Just this has no real weight or density. It's just fine powdery grains of gray ash.
Mira's still going to keep looking.
Okay. Archimedes looks up at you again. Fridgette looks over to see Gork and Mira kind of wandering about. You can see where Keen and Abraxas are lingering. I failed you. I should have done better to protect your family and to protect this academy, and I failed. I believe when this Goliath gave me this book some 100 years ago, I now see that it was meant for you. I don't know what to do next. all the scribes, the curators, those that knew the entire history and lore of the last 1,000 years of these lands. Gone. Gone.
Well, the first thing that you're going to do is you're going to grieve. Along with everyone else here that's still standing. I'm going to thank you for all of the training that you gave me that set me on the path to be able to come and put a stop to this when it started.
Kind of chokes back tears for a moment, looks at the others, looks at you. I want you and your friends to do me a favor, Fajette. I want you and your friends to go down below into the academy libraries, down in the book vault, and retrieve the staff, the Truth Seeker staff. I think you're meant to have it. I want you to take up my mantle, Fajette. I cannot be counted on for a future that does not exist for me. This was my responsibility. My lapse in judgment. My ill-fated understanding of the trust that I was given. And I was so certain I was right, and everybody else was wrong. If you decide to take up my mantle, find us a new home. Find us a new place to try again, to start again. I believe our mission was important. I know its intent was to better these lands, to better the people that the information was shared with. But I must warn you, retrieving the staff will be dangerous. When I fled the library, there was something else down there. Something that still might linger, even after the destruction of whatever chaos this was. Will you do this for me, Fajette?
She just nods.
He stands up instantly in a very kind of forceful tone and voice. To those of you that remain, I hereby transfer my mantle, my leadership, to Fajette. Fajette is now the Grand Inquisitor of the Truth Seekers. And he simply reaches into a pocket on his vestments and pulls out a crystal key and then hands it to you. Over 1,000 years ago, this key was the foundation of our organization. It is said somewhere out there lies the door that is meant to open it. Some have even said that the goddess, the Raven Queen, set this key down after her ascension for those to find. But we know that to be folly. She's much too young of a goddess to be involved. Some have said Ioun put in the very veil of magic into it to control the way magic is brought in and out of this world. Some of her deepest secrets can be found on the other side of the door that this key unlocks. I think I like that story the best. Matches our purpose. He coughs, a little fleck of blood kind of spraying off his chin. I am tethered here no longer. Fridget is your leader now. She will decide the fates of those that remain, and she will decide the fate of this library and its purpose. He just collapses into the chair, his head lolls to the side, and within moments, it's a slight arcane wisp, and then ash, as he's just shredded out of existence to join the remaining ash that's here. Abraxas, your passive is high enough that off to your left, there's a purple crackle of light. And then you could see the 5 of you fighting something. Off to your right, you watch as a crystal kind of like shard of fracture comes into existence. Gork is hovering over Fridget's body, Mirror's body, Keen's body, while the 2 of you are taking up this stand against some unknown entity. You look again and again and again as these timelines are fracturing around you. The moment of Archimedes' passing, you feel the sense of conclusion, termination. You feel like this is the first step on the final path. Kronos is showing you dozens and hundreds of conclusions in rapid succession, all on the peripheral edge of your sight. And then within moments, a hot flash of energy, and you're back standing amongst everybody within the academy. A heavy pounding in your head as you hear the last ticking of the clock. Its final click in your head. And then the ticking no longer happens. Something that's been with you for some time has gone silent.
I immediately check the gear that I have to see if it's concluded any more timelines.
The gear, give me an investigation as you begin to examine it a little bit more closely. What'd you get?
17.
Yeah, you lagged out. That's why we couldn't hear what you said.
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
No, it's fine. We got you,
Yeah,
bro.
I'll do
We
this.
got you. We've all been there. We've all been there. More notably, me last Saturday.
Yeah. Sorry. I'm
This
trying to
heavy
make it
episode
work.
was supposed to be last weekend,
Yeah.
and then we're going to have this really fun travel to wherever we decide to go next. But we're doing it today, folks. We're doing it today.
So, feeling time skip around me. I rolled a 17.
Yeah. So as you look at the gear emblazoned on your chest, you watch as it begins to liquefy in front of you and reshape itself. There is a visage on your chest now. It is, well, give me a history check. See if you can recognize this visage.
A 12. Only a 12.
You're not entirely sure who they are. They've taken on the visage of a warforge. And the visage, like in kind of like chromatic relief underneath this visage, Mechanicus's champion, emblazoned in the reshaping of this gear. And for the first time, you feel clicks and integrations transform you. You feel the full force of Kronos kind of begin to pull all the parts and pieces together. Scales glimmer, gears shine. All of your other timelines dissipate from your mind. Gone. Echoes. Distortions. The one laid out in front of you is purposeful. It feels intentional. What's happened here today was more about the sense of outcome. Something nearly won today. Something came close to winning today. Archimedes had failed. The book was almost recovered by a plague lord. And the Calamity could have been destined to continue on like it had before.
Abraxas is just kind of like breathing heavier and just kind of like just getting excited, kind of like, but try.
Oh my God! Turn off your camera. We'd rather hear your lovely voice.
Sorry.
There you go. Do that again.
My bad. I am restraining my joy at my purpose fulfilled, because this doesn't feel like a happy moment, but there is a moment of like content, like joy, like all right, we're coming, the paths are coming together, everything is kind of forming into kind of like a solidified goal, and the success is like a happy thing, but there's a sudden realization that there's a lot of death around and a lot of loss, and maybe I shouldn't be like super happy about it.
The remaining dozen kind of stand around you for Jet. The scribe, Trietha, looks at you. What would you have us do?
Well, I think all of us deserve a little bit of rest.
Do we stay here? Do we gather our things and leave? Where do we go? What do we do? The village nearby is destroyed.
Right.
We are in the dead of winter. Our food stores, we don't even know if we have any. Where do we go? What do we do? And then there's like a general murmur of others beginning to form those same questions, those same inquiries. As the circle of the dozen get a little bit closer, you can sense their fear. It's almost liquid. It's almost like battery acid in your mouth. After everything you've seen, this is what they do?
She's gonna use her, what's it called? Thaumaturgy to project her voice extra loud so everybody can hear over their speaking. I know you're scared. This is absolutely a time to feel scared. But right now, we're gonna rough it. We're gonna make do with what we have. I need some of you to go check and see what we do still have. I need some of you to take care of those who are the most hurt right now. And I need some of you to start sweeping up all these ashes, because we're going to lay every last person who was here to rest.
Give me persuasion with advantage, since you did use the thaumaturgy.
12.
They all collectively look at you and look at each other. Triatha looks around. You heard her. Gather our things. Prepare the wagons. Locate horses. The rest of you, go down. Gather up the empty urns down below that we use for ceremony. Gather what you can and where you can. She bears the mantle. Archimedes has seen fit that our guidance be true. And it is. And in unison, like, there's only a dozen left. I'll kind of do the kind of truth seeker half partial bow. And you hear them utter what they used to utter to Archimedes, which you've been uttering to Archimedes for years. The light will always guide us to the truth. And then they just kind of go off into different directions and do different, like, preparations, leaving the five of you and Corwin alone. Meanwhile, Corwin has been busy off to the side creating a teleportation circle for the last hour. He is heavily wounded, exhausted. Well, my time's almost up. But there's one last thing I can do. The only thing I can do for all of you. And he hands a gemstone to you for Jet. He's quite tall and has to hunch over a little bit, like very kind of lurch style, to kind of like hand it to you. Crush this gem and send them where they'll be safe. I fear your journey's just getting started. But it's time for me to go back. I think I filled my purpose. I hope I helped. I hope this all will find meaning somewhere at the end of whatever road it's set you on.
Thank you for being here for it.
Of course. Well, now to find that damn tower. And there's just an arc of as he just disappears. Late at night. What would you guys like to do?
Has Mayra found anything else?
You can give me another investigation check as you go further and further out amongst the ash pile that's now being carefully picked up in these massive copper urns that a couple of the gnomes brought up from down below in storage.
I got a 4.
Yeah, there's just, you get the feeling that whatever was associated or whatever was part of all of this vaporized with the remains or remnants of these individuals. That the absorption of their psyche to maintain that connection is probably the cost of what happened. And as you and the others destroyed what you thought were creatures of death, were really the attached psyche remnants of those that were being manipulated and orchestrated into creating that false reality to purposely keep all of you trapped.
Okay. I'll walk towards to Forget to see how she's doing.
Well, there's a dozen people I'm responsible for now, but that's not really new. They're just kind of different ones now.
They're just not the written word on paper.
Yeah. Their names are just a little different.
How are
Yeah.
you faring?
Well, I'm gonna be honest. Probably shock would be a word to describe it. I don't know what to do. I don't know how to. I don't know how to lead these people. I'm not a leader.
You are now.
I think you're quite capable, Forget.
And you're not alone.
Thank you, guys. This has been a really long journey for all of us, and it has gotten harder and harder, and it is not over. There's two things. I have to get these people somewhere that they can be safe and start to rebuild not only themselves, but the truth seekers. And there's something going on downstairs that we have to clean up. There's a stick I need to grab.
Whatever you need.
I laugh and then that wasn't a joke. That was serious. Okay.
No, it's absolutely a stick. It's a stick for whacking.
I mean, whack off whatever you got to whack off, but we got to do what now?
Now,
Down below, like guys, we got to.
we call that an icebreaker.
Phrasing, guys. We got to figure out. So something's changed, and something is progressing, and I feel like we're closer than ever. So we can't stop now. Let's do what we got to do.
We have the book. We should get her stick and move on. We will
We
take
need
her
to make sure.
somewhere.
We need to make sure her people are safe as well before we leave.
Or take her to the city that is made out in the Greying Wildlands, where we just came from.
That's a good idea.
The one that was buried in the avalanche?
No.
Well, it was being dug out.
The one that is
From the-
floating in the sky.
Oh,
Yeah.
I was thinking about
Yeah.
the place that we wintered at.
That's what I
That
was thinking.
would work as well.
I think
If you take your people to the floating city, if it disappears once the books are there, you will have to go with it.
I'm not sure they're ready to leave yet.
Gork,
It goes.
standing to your right is one of your ancient ancestors that just kind of appears in quiet silence in your vision. And she smiles, her shamanistic beads dangling from all over her body. And you hear her ancient voice whisper in your mind. It's one of the greatest citadels of all time. An ancient library with no keepers. And then you watch as another ancient Templar fighter appears off to your left. Perhaps the answer lies with those who take up the mantle of responsibility. God killer.
Be gone, ghosts.
You just watch Gork's like doing that on either
I
side.
just like I made this mistake. Be gone, ghosts, like I'm just talking to myself.
Gork, did you hit your head? Gork, do we need to check that for concussion? I don't.
We're all pretty beat up. At least I am.
Yeah, we're herded.
The Citadel is a massive library. It will need a keeper,
Mhm.
and there is no place safer.
Hmm.
I
Yeah,
mean,
what-
for now, till we take the books there. I mean, I'm not sure that'll be the most safest place.
Well, if the Citadel is supposed to keep these books from anything that would try and use it, it would be surely out of the way.
There's a pretty large contingent of individuals and forces gathering there.
Mhm.
Or everyone will fight over it. In which case you will not want to be there.
Such a Gork response. I love it. Or they'll just all get drunk and lose the
then we
remaining
can-
books.
You know,
Until
I
then,
think
we
Gork
can
does
get
have a
them.
point. What are librarians without a library?
Mm.
What's a Frigette without some books?
At the very
Perhaps
least, we can get them
take you-
aboard the ship.
Yeah.
Perhaps it will take you across the void where you can seek out new knowledge.
You guys got to get Gork into more extensive fighting often. Seems to stir the brain cell pot.
All
Because
right.
you guys realize that Gork's next character is definitely going to be like a snooty, snobby, know-it-all wizard for sure.
Hey, no, that's the other game, all right? Y'all are gonna get stuck with a senile dwarf.
You're gonna be flipped.
Yes.
You're
We
gonna
only
be flipped.
know.
That
You're
dwarf
gonna
is either A, gonna metagame the fuck out of you if you roll like a 20, or he's gonna roll a 1 and accidentally get you all killed. Because he drives like a
I
sled
don't
off.
know why you keep looking at me when I keep doing stupid shit like this. I can't remember when I do it, so why be angry at me?
I don't remember doing it.
I don't remember doing it, so obviously it didn't happen.
Oh,
Right.
well, let's get everybody settled tonight. I think
Yeah.
Corwin gave you a means to get them to safety.
Mhm.
And we can
So-
rest and then maybe take care of your mission in the morning.
Yeah. Yeah. Let them finish packing up and what needs to be finished here. And then send them on their way.
Yeah, I think, and you might be their new leader, but you're probably going to be apart from them for a bit with all we have left to do. So there's nothing that says you can't delegate to somebody who will be with them.
We have to go back to the Citadel anyways.
Hmm.
We could just take them with us.
Do we? Where was the second to last book?
Ooh.
Keothi.
Well, the last book, you guys are, you know where one is, and you're in possession of 7. The last book, as far as Keen can remember, is in Anchor's Weight,
Hmm.
or at least near there,
And you're there.
proximity-wise. Yeah.
Mm.
And we're waiting for our ship to come meet us because we had sort of
Okay.
All right, hold
jumped
on.
ahead.
We'll look it up.
Right.
There we go.
Yeah, so I think, well, maybe we can teleport your people to the Citadel
Yeah.
and then take care of retrieving your staff.
Yeah, I don't want them to have to be here for that.
Since it sounds dangerous.
Probably. I've never been allowed down there, so there's probably some breakable stuff because
Yeah, and then in the meantime, maybe Menti and the ship will catch up, and then we can, if everything works out.
You said that there was something down
when
When everything works
out.
out, we can go to
Positivity.
there. You said there was something down there we need to take care of.
Hmm.
What are you talking about? Something we need to kill.
Probably.
So
Wait, what's
Which was-
down there? Is this a usual thing or is this a new thing?
I'm gonna be honest, olive down there is a new thing for me. It was kind of behind a door I was not allowed to touch.
Where is this door?
I'm not telling you, you need to rest.
Oh,
You get a D6 for that one, Forget. That was awesome. That was great.
You know what's killing me is that right before we ended the fight last time, I burned my boon of the Everlight.
Yeah.
So you get the
Yeah.
effect, and now I'm like, oh, we're resting now? Oh, okay, I guess.
Oh, are you at like full strength? 'Cause
Yeah.
I'm max power. I
Yeah.
am
Power, you're
full-
gonna be our watch then, because
Power. Spy that catches other spies. Power.
I am fully rested and ready to rock. But
How often do we get the boon? I can't remember.
just
One
once.
time.
It's only
once.
once.
Just once.
One time.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
saving.
But it
I'm
did
saving
let
it.
me do something. I can't remember what it did, but it did let me.
Oh,
do something.
you were tapped. You were an empty battery.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I was magically tapped.
You started pulling out daggers, and it was like, well, gotta get him out of here.
Little dagger.
Oh,
Bryce is just looking at his claws like these will do something. I am stressing out. I
Somewhere
ran
the-
out of actual magic, and my tactic was like the same with a bear. Just stand there, look large. That's
Somewhere the time God wept.
yeah.
Alrighty.
Anyway, we're resting. We're getting the people on the ship to Kyoto with Menti.
We don't have a
Uh,
chip teleported here.
It's a
It's not here
triangulation
yet.
circle.
Yeah, it's a good day and a half out from last you could recall. Corwin had created a mass teleportation circle. I would say, Mira, give me an Arcana check as you kind of examine the circle.
Ooh, nat 20!
Nice.
Ooh.
It's capable of teleporting up to 30 people in a single
Ooh,
mass
30.
teleportation.
Wow!
Very, very complicated and difficult spell.
And we would have knowledge of
Of where it goes.
where it goes, or is it something that we can reset the glyphs?
So the way he designed it, he handed the crystal to Forget, and he put the invocation of it in the crystal. All you have to do is tell the crystal where you want people to go. You crush the crystal, and it'll invoke the teleportation circle to open a gate to that point.
Okay.
And we know of the place up on the floating city, if that's where we want to send them.
That's where I think they should go.
You're the boss.
Says the college grad. I'm the boss.
I'm the boss. Little
Just
boy.
with polite, like a knowing, like smile, like you're not. It wasn't a question. It's you're the boss.
Oh, that'll take some getting used to.
What's your title now? Grand Inquisitor.
Ooh.
That sounds pretty cool, huh? I'm gonna be honest, I never considered it. I thought Archimedes was gonna be around for a lot longer than that. So this was not on the agenda for me before that.
Well.
Whew. Where'd my mom go?
She's just lingering. She's now moved over to a overstuffed chair that she's just kind of collapsed into, resting. She's kind of curled up underneath like a throw, and she's actually fallen asleep because it is pretty late.
Yeah.
Lets everybody rest and
Mhm.
bamf them off in the morning.
Can
Are
you
we
start?
going with them?
No, we gotta go take care downstairs.
Oh, right. Yes.
And I don't want them here for that. So
Yeah.
teleport them away, and then we can find ourselves a mentee.
Find ourselves a mentee.
Brexis, can you still do the fire makey magic thing that you used to do?
Like
Poof,
the
there's
campfire?
Yeah, the campfires.
In a different way, but yeah, sure.
Okay. I don't want my mom to get cold.
Oh. Okay. No worries. And I'll set up a little bonfire and like firebolt some sparks into my fingers and just kind of form a little.
I mean, the
nice
chamber
warm
has
fire.
actually 3 great fireplaces.
I
Standing?
Then I
Oh,
full
yeah.
on finger guns, fire bolts at the different fireplaces. If it's
all the fireplaces light up. The coal and wood kind of commingled at the base of them, kind of coming into existence, lighting, bringing refreshing light to the room. And it's intact, no damage from what it looks as. I mean, there's no hole in the floor, there's no maw creature, there's nothing.
that was
It's
all
just-
happening pan-dimensionally.
It's just how you remember it always used to be for Jet. You could see the empty chairs where the different scribes would sit and make copies of the different historical books and records. The scroll makers, the 2 lecterns where people would take their turns kind of speaking about their findings to small cadres of students that would take notes and then seek out certain areas of the library and the academy to do their studies. You could hear the laughter in the hallways. You could smell the food. You could smell this place is bringing back so many memories now, flooding back.
If we're not burning, if we're not burning, if we're gonna rest, then I would go around and bolster everybody with casting aid on them and extending it, and just kind of like literally like not healing everybody, but like healing and making sure that everybody sleeps better and is more comfortable and is like getting their full benefit of their rest and at ease with aid, if that's possible.
I like that.
I'm gonna go and tell my people the plan. Be like, okay, so wrap up what you're doing, get some rest, head out in the morning to late morning because we'll probably sleep in. It's pretty late.
So for Jet, you're passing word to the remaining scribes and alkalites and students.
Mm-hmm.
Braxis, what are you going to be doing? Oh, you're bolstering and giving everyone the ability to get...
Not with aid, with lesser restoration. So if anybody is afraid or anything like that, I'm just kind of calming everybody's mind with lesser restoration and aid, and just kind of using that magic aid, a combination of those things to kind of just heal, as put people at ease and allow them to like rest, because we'll have to travel tomorrow.
Mara, anything you want to do?
I'll wait.
Gork,
You're
you're talking, Gork, you're muted.
I would like to wander off and check out what's down the halls.
Okay. Give me investigation as you do that.
I need to get my dice.
How big is the room, and is the monster still there?
No, monster's not there. Never was there.
Oh.
The room is massive.
Mm-hmm.
And it's designed to accommodate about 50 individuals in general study, lecture, copying books, making parchments, maps, scrolls. So it's a very well developed kind of like place to do activities like that as well. Lots of furniture, tables, chairs, unlit candles, although the entire space is pretty heavily lit now that all of the fireplaces have been lit to provide both light and warmth. What'd you get, Gork?
Oh, well, I rolled a 17, but because my intelligence is a 7, it's 15.
That's right. That was a bad mojo. Most of the hallways seem to lead towards either dormitories or communal eating areas. Some of the hallways lead towards classrooms and lecture rooms. Some of the hallways lead towards storage. You can hear a handful of the gnomes kind of actively going through some of that storage material, and kind of you could hear their voices trembling and talking to each other. There's one short hallway that is anchored off of this main gathering point that you're at, that everybody else is at. It only runs about 30 feet to a stairwell that goes straight down. And as you go down that hallway and you look down the stairwell, it goes down about 60 feet into darkness, and then you could see the outline of a great kind of like iron door with some empty braziers on either side of it. And this might be the spot that Frigette was talking about.
Does the door look like it pushes open or pulls open?
You're pretty high up. You want to go down and take a
Oh,
look?
yes. Yeah, I want to go look at the door.
Okay. You stand in front of the door. There is a heavy kind of like throw latch across it. Looking at the hinges, it looks like it pushes open, which is strange. Like it pushes in. All you have to do is just throw that latch to the left and the door would just push right in. Doesn't appear to be locked.
I'm going to try and open it.
And give me a strength check as you go to move the latch.
17.
17. It opens. It slides to the left. And the door pops like it was hermetically sealed almost. And kind of creaks open a few inches. There's such a Gorky moment.
I look over everyone's following me.
I sense you doing this.
I mean, I feel like, so Frigette, what's your passive perception?
Oh boy. Perception 13.
Yeah, I ain't gonna do it. You'd be the only one hyper aware of the location of this entry point. No one else would know. Most of the other gnomes have either gone off to do their responsibilities or fall asleep. Keen, your passive is pretty high, right? I would say the only thing uniquely to you, Keen, you start looking around and you immediately under your breath, where's Gork?
Gork
Kind of like as everyone's settling into routine, you would definitely notice, Keen, that Gork is missing. You don't see him around. I mean, he did mention he was just going to go for a walk and didn't really specify. But as far as you can tell, he's...
I think Abraxas and Gork would be like, and Keen would be like, there's no way. He's not that. Come on.
He is. He is.
Well, right now,
No way.
Don't underestimate him.
Thing to kill down
He'll be
there.
back.
Actually, I think Keen might be a little distracted because I think she feels responsible for a lot of, for more innocent deaths.
Mm.
So
And you
she's-
catch yourself absent-mindedly twisting the ring on your finger.
Mhm.
So I'd say that's your distraction.
Okay.
You're in pretty deep thought right now.
I would like to sneaky on in.
Give me a stealth check as you push the door open slightly and step into the darkened chamber.
Stealth. That is a 12. No, 11. My bad.
That is very
That was the wrong direction.
that was very Gorky. So, Keen, is there anything you're doing with your downtime at this point? Frigette seems distracted. Abraxas is kind of helping people that need it. Mara seems lost in thought. No sign of Gork anywhere, and you're just kind of there.
I think so. I guess I'm not sure as a player, like how powerful is Wish? Because I've read the rules and it seems like yes, it's very powerful, but it's not like it can do anything. It's got a fairly specific list of things it can do in the rules.
I mean,
but it's like, do I have a sense maybe if I could bring some of these people back?
It's a classic
Never did.
monkey's paw scenario.
Yeah, I was gonna.
Yeah.
Like, oh, they're gonna come back as undead or something. I was like, oh. No.
give me an insight check as you're kind of contemplating all these thoughts in your mind,
Okay.
and see if some of the pieces of the puzzle fall into place.
Only a 10.
The only thing that it feels like it is a possibility without knowing the probability. But at the same rate, Braxis's words weigh deeply on you. He described a sense of conclusion. Does this risk putting that in jeopardy? Is this supposed to happen? But is undoing it supposed to happen? Is undoing it putting everything at risk? There's a tiny scrape and a little bit of blood dripping off your hand from the constant twisting of the ring as you're just lost in this thought, these two words popping into your mind: possibility, probability, possibility, probability, just churning over and over and over and over in your mind.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, I think Keen is very much like spiraling between like causing more death, which she's been really trying not to do, but then having this, very powerful artifact, but she's not sure if she's supposed to save it for the end game, right? Because maybe she's meant to save it, and that's why they're on this path. Because at the end, it's going to come in to be, key. But if she uses it too soon, so that's why her like mind is just like,
You take 1 point of psychic damage.
oh really?
No, I'm just kidding.
Dollar's just like, wait.
Migraine damage.
Hold on.
I mean, it wouldn't surprise me because this is pretty heavy.
Gork, give me a perception check with disadvantage.
Can I? No. Never mind. All right. Perception. It's another 12. Nope. I do have
Yeah.
dark vision for 60 feet though,
Yeah.
and blind sight within 10. Cause
You hear a as the door shuts by itself behind you.
can I cast divine sense?
Yeah. There's something in here that when you sense it, your blood runs cold. You almost scream out in terror in your own mind
Oh, you know what did it say?
when you sense it. You feel your reality almost instantaneously shatter, but you have been through things worse than this, and you pull yourself together, and all you can hear in the darkness is your own breathing. And somewhere out there you keep hearing steps, like someone is slowly circling you.
But I don't see anything within 60 feet.
So far you don't see anything. It's just darkness. Just a strange inky blackness. And then just that annoying sound of feet on stone, stepping, flapping. Occasionally you can hear a nail against stone. Just that chalkboard sound.
Nope. No good.
I like to dislike that.
Nope. Bad.
I just kind of, I have a kind of like a dirty little grin on my face. I just kind of whisper, "I am Gork, the God Slayer, and I am here to kill you." As I cast Holy Weapon on my sword.
You watch as it radiates, unable to push the blackness back. It just gives a cool, warm glow around you as you stand there in the darkness holding the sword.
Where are you now?
You hear echoes of reverberation as you hear a female voice. Well, it's fortunate for me I'm not a god then. I don't normally play with my food. I'm not about to start now. You have the smell of death on you, Gork the God Slayer. And it echoes and rebounds. You can't get a sense of direction. Feet and nails moving about you. Just a single pair. Scratches along rocks.
I will reply, "I have never known a creature that could smell its own death."
Nice.
Give me an intimidation check on that one. I like that one.
Intimidation. Oh, not off to that. Oh, I'm so close to a nat 20. That is a 28.
There's a slight laugh that kind of lingers uncomfortably long. Oh, Godslayer, you are wasted. You have such power. You could kill anything you'd like to. You stand in the depths of a choice I offer you. I could give you what I know you taste for. I can sense it in your mind, and I can sense it in your soul.
And what is it that I so desire?
I've fought with your ancestors before. They are good fighters, good killers, good leaders. The taste of battle runs in your blood, Gork Godslayer. And I am here to give you both immortality and the battle that will never end.
My sword kind of drops just a little, and I just grin ear to ear. Show yourself.
Imagine armies at your disposal. Great war machines that can turn entire cities into obliteration. Imagine the very veil of existence sundered by the understanding of perpetual war. The others have failed, but I will succeed. Your mind is a vessel of violence, Gork. Grimosh chose wisely, but has set you on a misguided path. Your path leads to your ultimate end. and the doom of your friends. You are a slayer, Gork. I will put you in front of the greatest gods, and they will tremble. They will shatter. They will see your blade raised against their necks, and they will know their end. And the Great War will go on forever, Gork. A bloodlust that will make worlds, make conquerors, and create devoted followers unlike you've never had before. Gork, give me a wisdom save with advantage. And the DC was incredibly lowered due to that intimidation check.
Smash cut to back. It's like, he's fine. He's doing whatever. It's not a big deal.
Using my lucky dice.
Here
Well,
comes
hell
that
yeah.
natural one.
Yeah.
Fridget's like, holy fuck. We kill a plague lord, and now this shit.
That is a 27.
And you don't have
Yes.
any exhaustion?
No.
Okay. DC was originally the DC was a 26. And it got lowered to a 22 because of your intimidation. And that's when you realize you hear this speech, you hear these words, you hear the idea of this supposed temptation. It feels desperate to you. A last-ditch effort to stop a group of people that are winning, succeeding.
Mm-mm.
You feel the darkness fade a little bit, the glow of the sword get a little bit brighter. And then you just hear the voice. It's a shame. See you on the other side, Gork, Godslayer. Darkness fades. No one's there. You're inside a vaulted chamber that's devoid of everything except for one thing that lies sideways on a small oaken cabinet against the wall. A staff, maybe 5 feet long, with a great red crystal grasped in a zombified hand. Coiled around the staff, gold and platinum ivy coiling around its heft, and a slight kind of bluish white arcane energy pulsing up and down it. Nothing else is in here. No books, no nothing. But to the right of the staff is an empty podium that maybe held a book on top of it. Perhaps that's what Fridget has now back upstairs. And perhaps what you're staring at is the staff that she's supposed to retrieve.
I would like to leave. Quietly.
Slowly stepping backwards, you open the door behind you, which was only about 20 feet behind you.
As I open this door, I'm just kind of look back. I'm just gonna murmur to myself, "You are wrong about what I want, little woman. I will find you." As I kind of close the door, relatch it, I'll go back upstairs.
See, he's right here. He's fine. Nothing happened.
I will find a comfortable piece of stone to sleep on, I guess, now.
I mean, there's oversized chairs, there's empty
Okay.
dormitories. I mean, it's still a fully functioning academy. It didn't actually suffer
I
any
am
of the
going to
damage.
find the biggest, cushiest couch to lay on in ruin.
That's fair. Especially the moment you pass out, you realize, oh, I got to go pee. Oh, fuck it.
No, no, not what
You
I
would
was
have to sleep in your bolted flesh armor, anyways. It's not like you have an option
I
anymore.
got a snatch hatch, okay?
That's great.
Oh my god.
Somebody out there, please draw me a
Nope.
an orc paladin in flesh armor that's bolted to his body, and there's a what'd you call it? A snack hatch?
Snatch hatch.
Snatch hatch. So, well, I guess some people could call it a snack hatch.
Like the
Really?
This is rated E for everybody. You cannot be using that kind of language.
I like how Gork is correcting me. That's awesome. So Gork is now asleep. For Jet,
Rated-
we'll say
rated
you're
C
asleep
for
as well,
children.
maybe over by your mother, because I know you kind of already described what you were getting ready to do. I think that leaves Mira, Abraxas, and Keen if there's anything you want to do last minute before we take the long rest.
It's sleepy time.
Are we doing staying up still? Because there's something
I'm
downstairs.
taking watches.
Yes, that.
It's up to you guys. I mean, by far, the Abraxas is the best one fit for the watch. He's already had the effects of a long rest from his special boon.
I used my
And-
boon too.
And normally you only need 4 hours, right, Abraxas?
No. I need the regular, but I did just burn a bunch of my stuff healing. I knowing we would
That's
long
true.
rest, but I can take a watch. We can take watches. So
So we'll
I
say
would-
Gork's already out cold. We'll say Fredget's settled in. So that leaves Mara, Abraxas, and Keen to kind of maybe decide. I mean, it's about 8 hours to light at this point because it is winter. It takes a while for the sun to break through and reach up in these dark, frigid lands.
I can take a watch too, because I think I'm still going to be thinking about stuff. I think I will be, when everybody is sort of awake again, I'll be paying a lot of attention to, the survivors and for Jet, especially about how they're reacting to the loss of so many of their friends and family. And if it's overwhelming, then I probably will feel compelled to use the wish ring.
Ooh, interesting. Interesting. Okay. So who's taking
That's
first watch?
seeing the effect
Yeah.
on everybody else.
Yeah. We'll see how that goes. Mary, is there anything we want to do before we sort out the watches?
Well, I think she's going to step outside just to see the damage that was done and kind of survey everything.
It's all intact. No damage at all. The building,
Really?
structure, everything seems exactly as it's meant to be. Perfect. The gardens and the grounds. The only thing that you notice is that the cold environment and the way that winter's settled here, it's ice fields and barren. There's no leaves on trees anymore. It just has that dead land look about it. While the building seems intact, and the full weight of the realization of what was going on at the point in time, what this creature was doing, pretty dark magic. Dark from the sense of they were doing whatever they could to not only get you and your friends to destroy everything connected to the academy, but it's quite possible, had you not done what you've done along with the others, you would have been trapped in that space forever, just forever fighting, forever watching people almost die. These things are getting more desperate in your mind.
Yeah.
You feel Erebus floating alongside you.
She would like to step out into the main courtyard and just kind of like think of like, the fight and people that have essentially went to dust. And Mira's kind of like, she's racked with guilt about it. And she would like to be in the largest part of the temple settlement, and she is going to cast Druid Grove.
Druid Grove. Okay.
So I'm gonna retcon it a little bit.
Okay.
So for Druid Grove, I'd like to sprout not 4 trees, but 1 giant spirit tree in the center. And I'd like to use the ashes of whatever that remains for the soil to go into the tree. And with this tree, these trees have symbols on it, and it is also cast as a sacred ground. So I have to issue a command to protect the area from any evil that were to come. So
You hear a voice from behind you as you enter the area to do this spell. Well, what are you doing there, Kalishtar? And off to your left, from behind a tree, a bright red-skinned female. Long black hair, delicate, transparent, darkened wings on her back, protruded horns up through the curly hair. She's wearing the most finest silks and colorations that you've ever seen, bright to the point of gaudy, all manner of jewelry hanging off of her form. She's quite tall, stands about 8 feet as she begins to slowly circle you. What do you think that is supposed to do? Do you think that's going to stop me from what I'm here for? I smell your failure. I smell all their failure. I could reach down your throat and pull your soul from you now if I wanted to, Kalishtar. Yours are the favorite to feed on. All those lies, all those false stories that your people have been telling you for so long. She just kind of doughy-eyed looks at you, serpentine tongue flicking between teeth. As this succubus just continues to circle and mock what you're doing.
I don't recall welcoming your presence, Nameless One. And she's still gonna cast Druid Grove and focus on that.
What's the cast time?
10 minutes.
Oh, this is going to be a fun 10 minutes, everyone. Sit back and count the number of wisdom stones.
Cool.
And I'll say right now, Erebus is floating alongside you, and he's using the memories of your ancestors to bolster you. So you'll be doing this with advantage. As you begin the process of the incantation, reaching back into the memories of your people, and you're beginning to form this grove, and you could feel, you wouldn't even call it evil. There's no such word for this. It is a malice, a void of existence. This empty, cold, and hot circling you. Pure animus, pure hate, pure, almost like a inquisitiveness about it, about what you're doing, and why do you care? Her voice drones on as you cast and invoke. You bring the symbols into existence. You plant the ash. You begin to place your hands into the ground and bring this holy, sacred place into existence. Protect my family, protect my friends, screaming in your mind.
Your presence will no longer darken these footsteps.
I
cast
know
you
what's
out.
more silly. The fact that you think hope matters, or that you think hope exists? Do you think my father would send me to this awful place of existence with the intent of failure? Your weakest link lies inside those halls. Even now, she doesn't understand that my father has already embraced her, already have her sent. Asmodeus doesn't care for failure. Even now, he slowly consumes her soul and will steal all the gifts that she's been given. And you think casting this is going to make a difference? I am the decision maker. I am the one that decides when Keothi comes and goes. I am the one that sent the darkness to your people. I am the one that determines all things. They are on the ends of strings of my fingers, and they dance, their souls dance, to my tune, not yours. She continues to circle. You watch as her long nails claw at a tree nearby. You can feel the tree scream in your psyche with a tense pain. Go ahead and give me a wisdom save with advantage, because Erebus is bolster.
Oh, I don't like her. This is 17. Wait, hold on. Wisdom. Wait, hold the phone. Whoa, wait. You said wisdom saving throw?
Yes.
Oh, that's a 28.
What's your wisdom save bonus now?
That's 11.
Damn.
I'm terrified to imagine you've been looking at the wrong stat this whole time.
I'm wise as AF. Feng shui of the trees. Wait, no. Feng shui. No, never mind.
I love that.
I'd also like to point out that you said you're wise as AF, which is wise as fuck. You know, you do realize.
You realize Barry doesn't have a lot of practice with such words, so we got to give it a little bit of time.
ATM machine.
Does the evil creature just laugh itself to death?
Yeah.
You feel the cold tentacles of a dominating energy attempting to crawl into your head. There's these great echoes of terror and laughter and screaming in your mind, but you feel the voices and sounds of your ancestors push them out of your head as you continue to cast the effect. You're strong. You're no fool. The other one was. He should have taken my offer, and he's chosen not to. You seem equally as stubborn. Why do you continue this charade? There's nothing left at the end of this road. Just death, destruction. The world is meant to be changed by those with real power, not your false improvisations.
Death comes for us all, but it's hope that makes us have a better future for those that follow.
I dance on so many dead. I haven't seen the ground in millennia. I already know death takes all of you. But death is what I wield. And the best part about wielding it, I demand that you wield it for me. Give me another wisdom save, please, with advantage. Erebus is bolstering you.
That's it. 21.
It's getting harder. It's...
Those who plant seeds offer shade for the future. This is what I must do to provide future and opportunity for those that follow. A safe home for one and all. You speak of death and fear. What is it like being the layman for your father?
Ooh, give me intimidation with that one.
Yeah, let's bring daddies into this.
Yeah, daddy issues. They always work out
Good.
well.
I made
That's
it. Someone's got daddy issues.
That's what the D in D&D stands for. Forget about dragons.
Daddy.
Dungeons and daddies.
Dungeons and daddy issues.
That can
I got
take
a
you down
17.
some very not D&D rabbit holes. So be careful when you put that in your search. What did you get, Mira?
I got a 17.
Okay. Ah! I dropped my pen of shame.
Have we
Really
seen what her dad looks like?
Only one person in your party knows of him.
Okay, right.
Wow, I have actually lost my writing utensil. That is the problem with everything on the floor. There it is. I was right the first time. This is where I knock everything over and the camera goes dark.
Table flip. Just kidding.
Table flip. God damn it! No.
Every Monopoly game.
She pauses long enough for you to get through the more difficult part of your spell. And you're now more than halfway through your spell. And you feel Erebus kind of bolster you a bit. And then to your right and left, you watch as ghostly images of your family begin to appear. And then more. And then more.
Yeah, and Mira's not once looking away. She's concentrating on it.
In unison, you hear dozens of memories. We've got your back, Mira. And you could feel them stepping towards the creature, who is now hissing, backing up in fear. What is this? You are no dreamwalker. You're not a caretaker of memories that... And you could feel the creature stumble backwards. This is impossible. You cannot do this.
You will no longer darken these footsteps. I cast you out.
You feel the last of your spell take root and hold. A burst of white yellow energy bubbles out from where you stand. You hear this terrifying scream as you watch, or at least hear, dozens of voices that you call great grandmother, great aunt, ancient hereditary memories of your lineage, striking out, arcing into this avatar, this thing that dares interfere with the leader of these people, with the leader of those seeking refuge, knowing that your people are still out there somewhere being brought back by the one who handed you the staff of power.
Yeah.
You turn to see the dwindling energy, the bubbling essence of energy pouring out of the grove. The tree takes root, and all around you, you watch as life returns to a barren landscape. dead shrubs coming back to fullness, trees leaning and almost rotted to death. The garden begins to flourish. The grounds begin to flourish. The immediate grasslands around the academy begin to flourish. You watch as these huge vines and roots begin to grow up the side of the academy, around the academy, its roof, its grounds, until it's completely covered. And the small form that was challenging you just decays, falls into a sense of absence. As you watch dozens of faces you've never known, but emotions that feel familiar to you. A familiar nose, a familiar chin, a brow, hair, shoulders, postures. As you look at 1,000 years of your family, and in unison, we've always been there, and we always will. You are the last hope that we have, Mia. Even now, as your people gather on the fringe of the reality that they're trapped in, the hope that you sent to them gathers their strength. And you watch as in between you and them, an illusionary bubble, this vision expands in front of you. Somewhere back in a valley called the Valley of the Grey, in a newly established city, those that fought to almost near extinction against a foe. There's your tree that you planted. And it flourishes. It's bigger than you expected it to be. Without even truly understanding why, a flower blooms on a limb of the tree. As you watch a familiar form step up to that flower and pluck it, and then look into the vision. She's back. She's returned. Behind her, hundreds of Kalashtar just smile into that vision. And then the vision collapses in front of you. The memories slowly fade until the last memory starts walking towards you. It's a familiar dog.
Mira's gonna run up to it as if she could hold it once again.
And as your arms pass through it, unable to grip onto it, it transforms into your mother and stands there. Without really feeling corporeal form, her hand kind of pulls your chin up and stands you up in front of her.
I won't let you down.
This battle is not over. Do whatever it takes. They will not win. The darkness has receded. She has journeyed us back to the Grey Valley, and your story is known to us. Do not let them win. Small opening over by the front of the academy. Just enough of an opening for you to step back through into the academy. as you look at the health of the grove has now enraptured the academy. And a sense of protection and a sense of a long sleep earned has been afforded you.
She will descend back down.
As those of you that are still awake, you watch as Mira comes back in from the outside. Her hair is streaked with white and gray and browns.
What?
Eyes that look older than they should be, but a visage of someone who had just seen something that went beyond the understanding of mere mortals. A glimpse. As you pass by a reflective mirror off to the side of one wall, Mira, it's that person you talked to. It's your elder self. When you dreamwalked, you look just like her now.
She will stare at herself and think about what happened, and she realizes that this mission, that this charge that she has, is something that she must see through to the end with the aid of her friends. And she's going to turn to look at everyone who I assume are sleeping.
Some of them are awake. They still hadn't sorted out the watch yet. Gork is snoring and kind of like chasing bunnies over on the couch, you know. He's always a rough sleeper. Fredette has fallen asleep alongside her mother over on the other side by the fireplace. Most of the gnomes have kind of gone off to their dormitories. For the most part, I would describe Keen, yourself, and Abraxas, really the only ones still up at this quiet hour.
I would say Abraxas looks like he's meditating, not really sleeping. You know, he's just kind of like locked into a meditative pose.
Yeah. To the ends of the earth. We'll make sure things are right. She'll just kind of say that like out loud and just kind of sit there.
Huh? What? And yeah, ends of the earth. Ends of the earth. Ends of the earth.
Namaste, says
No.
Namaste.
Could I also say, while sleeping, that I am trying to stay in tune with the whole merging of the gear to my body and who this Warforged is? Like,
Okay.
I have no idea. You know, the Mechanicus champion. Like, does it look like I have like an Iron Man head on my chest? Like, 'cause that's what those
without the
Warforged-
modern,
Yeah.
without the modern feel of it. Yeah, it kind of has. It feels like it's a representation of a visage.
Mm.
That something through the destruction of this entity and through the collapse of all the remaining timelines, it's almost as if that might have been your championship banner. That your faith is now established with Kronos. And you may be his first champion of Exandria.
Interesting. The champion of time. And now, like, that gear is a part of me now. Like,
Correct.
my augmentations are now fully linked and ready, and like
Feels like it.
full liquid metal skeleton, full like nanotech armor.
Feels like it, yeah.
Fucking cool, man. Ends of the earth, yeah.
Yeah, so if that happened, I think maybe I would be the one taking the first watch, and then everyone's doing the meditation and snoring and whatnot.
Okay,
Do
that's
we
fair.
see the grove? Do we see this grove form around us or no?
No,
It's
not
outside.
really. It's all outside covering the
Okay.
academy.
Yeah.
Cool.
Surprise.
Yeah.
It's
Who's-
time to wake up Keen for her watch.
Hmm.
All right, you're up next. Hope you're rested well.
Yeah. And I'll notice that her hair and her appearance has changed. And I'm like, are you okay?
What?
You look different. Did something
Oh.
happen?
Well, yes, something has happened. I think we're all heading towards the right path. And I've established a sacred grove for this area. I fought off some dark being outside that was hovering over what was left of here. But it's safe now.
Okay. Get some rest. Yeah. I'm ready.
How are you doing?
See me like twisting the ring unconsciously, and my fingers, I guess, bleeding.
Raw. Yeah, it's just raw.
Yeah, I'm fine. I'm fine.
Mayra will look at Keen's hand. What's going on with your hand?
Oh, it's just nervous, bad habit, like chewing your nails. I'll stop. She'll put her hands like sort of where you can't see them.
Stop biting your nails, young lady.
A roller comes out of nowhere. No.
I'll be fine.
Okay. And she'll just give like a knowing look and she'll head to sleep.
I love that look on Gork's face right now. It's so content. For once, I did not commit violence, but I won.
You're muted,
You're
buddy.
mute, by the way.
I was just looking through like you know how you can like add stuff to your inventory, like manage inventory.
Mhm.
I was just looking through. I hit like weapons and proficient because I was like thinking of something. It doesn't matter. That's not important. I was just scrolling through there, and I saw this curious item called a glitter grenade. I wonder where that came from.
Oh my god, I'd forgotten about those.
It transferred campaigns. Yes. Allow
from
the
the
glitter
Feywild.
grenade.
Glitter grenade.
Keen, as you watch Mara settle into a rest, Abraxas in his meditative state, Frigette leaning up against her mother, both of them sound asleep. Gork stretched out on a couch over by the fireplace. Here and there where certain areas have been cleaned up and kind of accommodated, some of the other scribes and others have drifted off into either sleeping on furniture. They're relatively small. Gnomes can pretty much fall asleep anywhere they want. And it's just the sounds of sleeping and echoing throughout the chamber.
I think, I'm on watch, so I'll probably, wander around a little bit. I mean, not going too far from the main chamber, but at least doing a little bit of a patrol because it's a big space. I
Give me an
think,
investigation check as you do that.
oh, okay.
Just so I have a number.
I will use real dice. Ooh, not so great. But 16.
16.
Uh-oh.
Wrong one. Left to right. Left to right.
I don't like being alone.
You hear a voice. But you are alone. You don't see anything, just a feminine voice. Don't you remember? Can you imagine what that must have been like for that poor child in the other room? To be utterly alone when you made that decision. I have a special place for you, Keen. We're gonna build a playground just for you. You're good at it. I don't know why you run from it. Your list is long, is it not?
Oh. Yeah, it may be long, but it doesn't have to get much longer.
Why do you hide from such perfection? You could feel the pommel of the blade in your hand, the rapid breathing of your target, that sense of power, that sense of conclusion, King. You can feel it. Don't hide from it. Embrace it. My father told me he chose you for a reason. He let you reach down and grab that book. He felt the great power in your mind, your sense of loss, your abandonment of hope. You know, you feel it. Give me a wisdom save with advantage because Mira cast the Grove. And that has also lowered the DC as well.
Oh, jeez. Okay, I only got a 9.
Well, that's straight fucked up, ladies and gentlemen. Without
The other one was a
realizing
natural 1. So it's not a good roll. Not a good roll at all.
as you stand there, you feel the blade in your hand. You don't even remember pulling it out. You kind of walk back over to where everyone's sleeping. You stand hovering over the sleeping forms of Frigette and her mother. Weakness in this world breeds death. Only the strong can prevent the death. Look at how weak she is. She let everybody die. She's had the truth in front of her the whole time. The great lie is that these books were never hidden. The great lie that somehow nothing could ever prevent the calamity from its conclusion. Doorways swing both ways, King.
I don't blame her. I'm the one who brings death everywhere I go.
You sound unsure of yourself. You sound weak. Give me another wisdom save, please.
Do I still have advantage?
With advantage, because, yeah, the Grove is intact.
Okay.
Had Mira not done that, it would just be regular. Right?
Oh, this is much better. 19.
One more would have been better.
Oh, gosh. I don't have a lot of wisdom. Yeah.
You feel your hands tremble as you stare at the blade. And the blade is now pointed back towards your sternum.
Ooh.
We don't tolerate the weak. We are going to remake everything. What we started over 900 years ago, we intend to finish. And no soothsayer, or measly orc, or druid, or metal toy, or this is going to get in our way. We earned this world. It belongs to us. They were the ones that fled. They were the ones that left you in death and darkness. They were the ones that abandoned their children to the doom of this world. But I can raise you. I can elevate you, King. You will never know death. You will never know pain. You will only know what you choose others to understand about our new purpose.
It might be true that they are better than me. But there's a reason I think I'm still here, despite everything. I've survived, and that makes me strong. And even if it means death is my gift, I can use it to stand against you and yours.
Give me a final wisdom save with advantage, and that definitely lowered the DC.
16. The highest I can get is 21 on a wisdom save.
I lowered the DC to a 16.
Ooh, okay.
Because I rolled a D8 on a what's 8 minus 20, or I rolled a 24. The DC was a 24, but I gave you a D8 for decreasing the DC with that speech because that was pretty fucking cool. There's just a sense of calm around you, a sense of finality, a soft laughter fading in your mind. Your eyes open. Everybody's eyes open as sunlight begins to peek through the curtains and windows of the upper kind of tiers of the internal structure of this chamber. The sound and smells of people waking up, people cooking breakfast, people finding themselves the strength they need to start another day. For some of you, a brush with something. Something was here. It wielded a lot of influence and power. It dug deep into your memories and your strengths. For you, Keen, seeing all your friends waking and still alive, the dagger sheathed at your belt, a nagging doubt in your mind, but this sense that something waits at Anchor's Weight. Something hovers on the edge of terror. Whatever put all this in motion started long before any of you existed. Somewhere, the beginning of the gates being closed, and the gods making that fatal decision to abandon the world to save it. Celestial arrogance. idiocy, false hope. You're beginning to understand that maybe Keothi wasn't wrong. The recovery of these books feel like it's been guiding you and your friends towards the end of this journey somehow. And these choices that you've made have been choices that have either cost you friends, family, acquaintances, those that have touched your life over time. And you feel absolutely certain that using the ring now could put all of this at jeopardy. And then you begin to feel it, that pain of loss that gives you purpose. It's probably the same pain that Fridget feels now. Everybody click off your long rest buttons. Start of a new day. Everybody's busy with their morning activities. Some of you are surprised to see Mira's appearance. Some of you are even more surprised to see Abraxas' appearance. What would you guys like to do?
Good morning, everyone.
Are we
How's
ready
everyone
then?
doing?
Are we not going to talk about the elephant in the room?
What elephant?
Two of you look very, very different.
Oh.
I like how Mira automatically.
What?
Different? I just got the next die. Like,
Would you
Secret's
know
still
that you
on.
changed? Like, did you see yourself change or no?
She caught a reflection of herself in one of the mirrors in the chamber.
yeah.
Because that would have been a shock to her, where she's like, "What?
Mm.
I look what now? What happened?"
Such things don't really surprise me anymore.
Well, I established a sacred grove in memory of those who have fallen, and I was offered a vision. I saw my people. I saw my mother.
Mm.
I believe Galserine may have brought them back.
She remembered the name.
Mm.
Of course I did!
I actually had to go look back at the highlights because, you know, I've only got to remember like 250 names every week.
You remembered. Sorry. Storyteller, you're messing me up.
Sorry.
They said they brought them back. Where are
Yes.
they?
I believe they're at the village that we established
The
in
one
the
with
Greying Wildlands.
the siege towers. That village.
Yes. Precisely.
I mean, you did plant that tree there.
I can't believe she did it. And I'm overwhelmed with joy. But I have to keep fighting to make sure this place is safe. To have a home for them and everyone. It's good progress.
This place safe. Are you trying to bring them here?
Bringing them back home. Back to the Citadel. That's where they belong.
Well,
Do you
how
feel
many?
different?
How many are there?
How many did I see, storyteller?
Dozens, if not more.
We may need a bigger boat.
You don't
I
get
believe-
the sense they were brought here, that they're probably already been returned to the original beacon that you had planted in the Grey Valley.
Yeah. That's what I figured. They're at the village that we were at, where we wintered. Yes, she brought them here. She saved them all. She had hope. And that hope brought everyone back. I believe we could find someplace safe for them as well.
In time.
Yes,
Where do you want to take them?
What was the name of the floating city? I forget. Was it?
I think we just were referring to it as the Citadel.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. The
Yeah.
Citadel. That is the homeland of my people.
The Citadel.
Yes.
Oh.
Wait, the one place that we've all been drawn to?
Yes.
That feels right.
Yep.
Yeah.
Are we ready to go and fetch Fidget's stick?
Well, what's going on with... You look kind of different too, Abraxas.
Yeah, I just unlocked all my potential and fully synced up with my time god. No problem. Nothing. And just more of the same.
It's not really that difference when I showed up at, plate of steel bolted into my flesh.
Yeah.
Yeah, we kind of breezed all past that too. I will say.
Man, armor boys, let's go, chest bump.
we do both have built-in. I think if you chest bump, yeah, just like it's like a loud.
It's like the whole guy's boom, and you go.
I mean, I'm not weak by any stretch of the imagination, but I am now fully formed. I don't know. I think it was like some sort of like pupation, some sort of like I needed. You know how like when lizards.
Of course, what does that word mean?
Yeah, you know how
you have to go poop.
Yeah, you should.
Not that dumb, story, come on.
Come on, your intelligence is a 7. Your gork.
That doesn't reflect my. Shut up.
your grogism should be kicking in for sure.
Yeah. What you're seeing now, I think, has been the whole time has been a process of like when a snake or a lizard sheds their skin, or there's a weakness for a time, but it's like necessary for growth. And this time is nearing its conclusion. So I think I am too. Or at least my development is. There's a chance that we could be... There's not a chance. Time is showing that we will see an end soon. We're reaching a kind of nexus of time. And then we're all here together, and we're all here with a purpose, and we're all headed to the same place.
So you see a clearer path.
Yeah, clearer than ever. And I feel like I can channel the energy better, and I feel like I feel like all my parts and pieces are finally attuned to themselves.
So out of character, what color are Abraxas' scales right now? And are you full mecha, or are you like...
I don't think... I would imagine it's very much like what this looks like. Where it just... There's no seams anymore. There's like the scales are only represented in the energy that's channeling through my skin. You know what I'm saying? Like it's like the scales are just nano machines or the magitech just kind of working working itself. No seams, no bending, it's no suit of armor kind of feel. Just kind of liquid metal skin that just kind of firms up. Have you ever seen non-Newtonian fluid or like cornstarch and water where you hit it? It's like liquid until you hit it. It's probably, you know what I'm talking about? Like where
Yeah.
That is so awesome.
That's probably what it looks like, but like if it was mercury or gallium, like liquid metal until it's not, but still bronzish, like that kind of
Bronzy gold.
Yeah, that kind of some sort of that tint to it.
Cool.
That's awesome.
Non-Newtonian dragonborn.
That is all very inspiring and all, but are we ready
Bending
to
the laws of physics.
Yeah, I'm with
believe we
Gork.
have a stick to fetch?
I
got
turned to
some people
Fridget.
to send.
Yeah, I turned to
Let's send them
Fridget.
off and then go get the staff.
Send your people home.
Yeah.
The morning is filled with cleaning of equipment, gathering up. The last ash is gathered. At least a dozen large copper runes copper urns are now filled. The chamber remains of ash. Setting those on the teleportation circle, Triatha has kind of become an impromptu second as she gathers everyone on, listens to instructions carefully, and then stands in front of you for Jet. We'll see you soon. Good luck.
Thank you. Take care of each other. Well, I'm
We will.
away.
And she turns and walks over, and then your mother comes over. I don't think I'm ready for you to leave again.
I mean, were you the first time ready? I mean,
That's the voice of a rambunctious teenager. No, I was not. So many things have changed now for Jet.
yeah.
Your purpose seems so dangerous.
It has been a very crazy journey. And you probably wouldn't have let me leave if you knew what I was going to be running into the first time. So I'm going to be honest, this second time is probably going to be the same. But I'm going to come back to you. I
Jet,
promise.
if I hadn't left you leave the first time, we'd all be dead.
Yep.
You walk on the path of the fated. Your purpose is intended for some greatness. I don't believe the sacrifice of our family was a bad thing. I think the sacrifice of our family was necessary for your greatness to shine. And she looks over at the stairwell that leads down. That staff is everything that our people have ever been. That staff was here at the beginning, passed down from inquisitor to inquisitor for almost 1,000 years. And now you bear the mantle. That would have never have happened if you'd stayed. The sacrifice would have been for nothing. Everything lost, the world broken, and your purpose darkened and gone. There is strength in loss. We all must go through it. It burns so bright in your friends, I can see in each one of them the pain that turns them into hope. They don't have to do this, and neither do you, but yet you do. That is what it means to be the blood of the Glimmershine. This family, these people, the purpose of the Truth Seekers, all of it is revealed once you bear witness to that staff. Like every Inquisitor that it's been passed down to, the origin of our story is yours to pass to the next. She kisses you on the forehead, smiles at you. By the way, I would think staying next to the big one all the time is a good idea. She just kind of winks at you and turns. I like how both Gork and Braxton shake their head. That was great. Well, bigger than you, old man.
Okay, but which one is that? They're all bigger than me.
You get the feeling it's a play on words. She just kind of laughs and smiles. She stands up on the circle. Everyone is gathered there, holding bundles. The urns in the center. They're all holding backpacks, bundles, crates of books that fill up the gaps in the space that can make it. They all smile at you. The gem is in your hand.
Well, all right, guys. Travel safe. See you when I see you. We'll drop it on the ground and crush it.
Shatters. There's a vortex that circles. Portal opens and consumes the whole circle. The circle is gone. There's just a smell of ozone and like some kind of blast mark on the ground on the flagon stones. The 5 of you are now alone inside the academy. Early morning still.
I'm gonna have to get better at those speech things, aren't I?
I think you got the message across.
The speeches are very you.
Yeah.
Don't change.
Well,
shall we?
Let's go.
Since
Get in.
nobody's been in this place yet, I will lead the way.
Oh, nothing.
That was a
That
meta
is
stare if I've ever
clueless.
seen a meta stare. Her eyelashes even fluttered. As the 5 of you get led by Frigette over to the stairwell down, there's a heavy iron door with a heavy iron latch. Some fresh scrapings on it.
Hey, no, come on now. Don't give it away that easy.
Orc footprints on the
At
floor.
least make them make a perception check.
There's a cigarette butt on the ground that says "Please board."
Actually, you might
Gork
you might as well
was
just-
here is carved
Yeah.
in the iron.
Gork was here.
There's a
Gork
peace
did
stain.
not
There's a peace
enter
stain.
this room.
There's a
I'm
peace
a
stain in the corner.
Gork.
Tell you what,
Gork.
Gork was not here.
In all fairness, what was your stealth roll when you tried to get in?
12, 11 actually, wasn't it?
11, actually. Yeah, we all beat that.
That's
Possible. Clear signs.
The latch is firmly in place, the door held in place. No sign of any disturbance.
Can one of you tough ones lift it, please? I doubt I can lift it.
Yeah, I'll go open it.
Thank you.
and easily.
Wow, you look so familiar at how you handle. How did you open that door so easily?
I mean, it's a simple latch.
It's a latch. Yeah.
But it's
figure
simple latch, Praxis. What are you employing? The door swings inward into an empty room, save for a piece of cabinetry at the back end and an empty podium to the right of it. Looks like maybe the book sat to the right, and on that cabinetry, being held aloft on a stand, staff, coiling with platinum and gold ivy wrapped around its heft. Top, a mummified hand clenching a crystal within its hand. They're about 5 feet long, glowing with a kind of blue and yellow effervescence. The moment that you enter into the room, the whole room begins to, as little spheres of light begin to come into existence. Dozens and dozens of small little blue points of light. One for every inquisitor that's ever stepped into this room. One for every inquisitor that's placed their hands on this staff. And that's when it hits you. The mummified hand is probably the original inquisitor, the one that shaped it, put the order together, and passed the first passing of knowledge from leader to leader. And all these lights are pulsing around you.
Well, I will walk up to it.
Hey, Gork, can you lift me up?
I assume this place is full of halflings, so it'd be halfling sized.
Or gnomes and halflings, that's fair.
Yeah, close size.
They all kind of run together when they're that little, 2 feet
Oh,
tall.
little runty little things look all the same from the top.
You guys watch as Jack gets a little closer to the cabinet. And
We memorize the names of goblins by the way the top of their head looks. We don't even see their face.
you're horrible, Gork.
Come on, what do you expect? We had
You stand in
Baldy,
front of the cabinet and you can just
Baldy, and
feel the energy pouring off of it.
Sorry, say that one more time.
You stand in front of the cabinet, you just feel the energy pouring off of it.
Well, that was a little.
Points of light and tendrils of light connect to all the different spheres floating around. They all begin to get pulled into the staff. You watch as the fingers twitch and move and tighten around the stone. Your hands just hovering nearby. Your hands are about to grab it.
Well, pick it up.
Reach out, and the moment your hand grabs around the heft, it's as if you're the first one standing there. Standing there, looking up at a sky on fire. A massive floating city that you remember from your studies called Aor sits in the horizon. A great catalysm and battle takes place. The city suffers tremendous damage and destruction. There's a sense of loss and purpose at the same time. And then the vision shrinks and reopens. In the vast wastes, the border regions of the Greying Lands, you struggle through the frozen blizzard and snowy conditions. You look at unfamiliar hands holding the familiar staff. A sense of cold fear and anger beginning to swell up inside of your chest. Sense of failure. The world is burning. The calamity is here. Magic fades. The world will never be the same again. A new vision. Fire burns nearby. Frozen hands and fingers finding warmth. Staff lying across your lap. Across the fire sits a large form wearing many furs. Familiar form. You remember him from one of your visions. The great war chief that carried the box. You feel yourself get up, place your hands on the shoulders of this huge form, and the healing energy pours into this form. He stands down and then kneels back up. Thank you, small one. I have a long journey ahead of me. What is your name? Merquin. I'm looking for something. I just don't know what it is. The huge wolf chieftain of Butcher Block comes down into Merquin's face. You'll find it. You have strength, little one. Follow your nose. It's bound to lead you somewhere. And he places like this heavy fur across Merquin's shoulders. He's much older now. He sits in a familiar meadow in a familiar glade. He seems to be talking to others around him. Over there is where we'll build it. We cannot let the undoing of the world stop us from moving forward. There we will build it. There we will gather, and we will hold the truth of this world and pour it into a magical device that will keep it alive forever so that those will not repeat what has happened here. And then, much older, you feel a tightness in your chest. You're lying down, looking up at an unfamiliar halfling. As you look up at that face, it's young, soft, curls of hair, green eyes. Now I know there's much to worry about. This is not an easy tale to take with you forever. But it must be kept secret. And it must be kept. For if we lose these understandings of where we've come from and what we've seen, all hope would be lost. The staff will guide you for the remainder of time. Pass it on to the next one that takes up your mantle. And your wizened hands kind of pass up the staff up to this young halfling, leaning down, sadness on their face. Your breath tighter, shorter gasps. The vision. Generations pass in front of you, again and again until you relive every generational passing of 1,000 years worth of memories. And you're inside Archimedes' eyes as he hands you the staff. It's at that moment the staff attunes to you, blends in with your existence and what you are. And then you feel it. The revelation of every lie and every truth ever told for 1,000 years. The mythology of a world led to the brink of near destruction. The sundering of the Titans, the imprisonment of the betrayer gods, the weeping of the gods and goddesses as they closed the great celestial gate, and tears fell upon Exandria. And you follow one of those tears in your mind. Hits the ground. And as that tear creates a crater, there lies this small, maybe fist-sized rock of diamond facet, pulsing as you kind of glance at the first known god tier, as the tears of the gods are revealed to you. They didn't want to leave. They were certain leaving would protect their children. The truth of the 9 seals of the betrayer gods and its lie. The books were harbingers of failure. Writings taken on by those that didn't understand the complexity of what they were doing. Following the faith of the gods, transcribing those faiths. These books were meant to seal any way of getting to the betrayer gods, forever locking them away. After the betrayal and the age of Arcanum, and then the calamity and the rising of the betrayer gods once more, and their eventual casting down into their prisons yet again, the cost of the destruction of the veil. Everything. You watch as a great citadel rises from a familiar area that you've been to. You watch as those down below watch it rise up into the air. And it's at that moment, a betrayal, a lie, an entity steps through the gloom, disrupting the ceremony, casting the citadel into many fractured pieces. A dwarven laugh, a great hammer, and a helmet that looks all too familiar. And then its face turns towards you. See the familiar face of Kaladin. All too easy. They will be mine. They will be mine. You feel yourself attuned to the staff. All of the known betrayals and purposes of everything revealed to you. You now know that once the 9 books are placed in the hands of the statue, and the wearer of the helmet will take control over the citadel. And the wearer of the helmet will have access to the unending planes of existence. The intent of the ceremony was to send these books in perpetual shifting through both space, planar existence, forever keeping them hidden from those that might use them to try to bring back the betrayer gods. But out there somewhere, an individual walks, plots, manipulates, plans for another attempt at destruction. You can hear that familiar dwarven laugh in the background as you just feel the weight of the staff in your hand. You feel the weight of the truth, the lies of everything that have brought you to this point. That last book. That last book. The hardest one of all. You see death, terror, and fear stretched out in front of you. Your eyes glaze over for a moment. So you are now in possession of the Truth Seeker staff. Now, it does require an attunement slot. So do you have one that's available?
I
Not,
should.
you definitely want to do some shifting.
I do, yes.
Okay. So, took me a long time to figure this one out, so I hope it's good. And by the way, everyone, we finished the last backstory. We've done Abraxas, we've done Kings, because hers was with the reconciliation with the child. Done Gorks, we've done Mira's, and now we've just finished for Jets. Only one thing left to do. Get that last book. So for Jet, the Truth Seeker staff.
Yes.
It is +3 to hit and +3 to damage.
Okay.
Both, unless they are already set. What's your Dex and Wisdom at now?
My Dex is 20.
Okay.
My Wisdom is 17.
So your Wisdom is now 20.
Awesome.
Change that to 20.
Mm-hmm.
You gain an extra attack.
Awesome.
And your staff has an ability called Purity of Soul.
Okay.
Once per 30 days, you can invoke the Purity of Soul. And what this does, this allows you to expunge and banish or destroy any known demon, devil, fiend, or aberration.
That sounds kind of strong.
Does not get to return to its place of existence. It is cast out into the astral sea and is set to wander forever.
Okay.
Jet's mighty bopping stick.
However, once per 7 days, you can instantly cast Geas. Geas.
Ooh, that's a good one.
G-E-A-S. Okay.
And then once per short rest, you can do Wholeness of Body, where you can give yourself all your hit points back.
That's what I have.
Well, these
Mine
are
is mine.
It better be good.
Hey, I got a
'Cause I
question.
can tell you right now, you guys are gonna fucking need them.
Oh God, I'm so excited.
I'll be just fine, thank you.
Oh, we'll see. We'll see.
I'll be just fine. I still got my dragon thing,
Well, that's fair. You still do have that. That's true.
so I can max out my hit points twice.
Like I
What?
said, you'll need it.
I love
Hey, shut up! You're just gonna make it harder.
Yeah.
that. Dude.
You just added a 0 to the hit points on the
Don't.
whatever.
I can't
Yeah,
think
but
of
they-
it.
Oh yeah, don't. I only have 30 hit points. Have mercy. Ignore everything I said.
So,
I got a question for you, real quick.
yeah, and
Is
I've
it
got
once
good news for you
Is
guys.
it during a long rest or when I level up that I can reconfigure my spells as a paladin?
Every
Uh,
long
it's
rest.
during every long rest.
Okay.
Yeah, paladins and clerics can do that. However, we've concluded another backstory. Well, actually, we've concluded all the backstories.
Oh, that means
That's a milestone.
milestone.
So you guys are all now level
18.
18.
Wowzers.
Wow.
Unfortunately, that is the last milestone.
18 it
We
is.
can't get to level 20 and be
No.
demigods.
No, unfortunately, a lot. Those milestones came and went.
Oh.
Oh
Wild.
no. This is
Oh.
so
Where's
amazing.
the word?
Sad gork noises.
I'm guessing we're gonna wrap in February.
Okay.
Based on schedules and what I've kind of seen in the remaining part of this campaign, the finale will take at least 2 sessions, at least. I've done a lot of writing for that, and it's a combination of lots of styles of encounters.
I have a question about the end.
Sure.
Do you have our fates predetermined, or are you gonna do that thing like in my other campaign where we kind of get to write off our own endings?
I would say everyone have an epilogue ready to go, just in
Okay.
case, right?
Because that took me by surprise, and I feel like I could do something. I've kind of been preparing for that with Gork. So
That was a learning opportunity, my friend.
yes, it was.
Yeah, plan on an epilogue. Also plan on a post-mortem epilogue.
Mm.
Oh.
Ooh, a good ending, bad ending situation.
Oh.
Yes.
Not necessarily bad ending, but maybe more in the line of sacrificing
Mm-hmm.
the greater good.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like something like that. So keep that in mind. There are 4 endings that I've written. 4. The choices you make between now and Anchor's Weight are going to impact that, obviously, and which ending that we that we go with. So try to keep it as open as I can, because that to me is the best part about this game.
Mm-hmm.
Best part
I'm
about this
excited, y'all.
game. How are we looking for next weekend?
As
Yes.
far as I know.
Should be good.
As long as there are no complications with your computer.
I can't wait to have. Oh, stop that! I fixed it.
Did
That
you
horse
though?
is dead. I know. Did
Well, I'm gonna beat it.
you use
the
enough
stick.
paste? Did you use enough thermal paste? Did you check your pin counts? Did you make sure everything was clean? You said so, but I think you're lying. I gotta get you and your wife out here, Mike.
Oh
you guys
yeah,
have
for sure.
to come see the studio. I've been printing like crazy.
Oh man.
I've been printing like crazy. It's so much fun.
Yeah, I
I'm trying to
exist
get
on the West Coast now, so you guys gotta. I need
Mayor's
restaurant
actually pretty
recommendations.
close. I think
Mayor,
so,
yeah.
you're north of Culver City, right?
South.
Are you south? Are you Burbank? Where are
Yes.
you?
Pasadena area.
That's right.
Oh, that's
Pasadena.
Should
That's
we just
north
do, like
of Culver City.
should we
Yeah,
just
I
do
don't know,
where
man.
we come all go hang
Kind
out?
of, I think.
We should totally do a whole
Yes.
IRL.
Because
Yeah.
I was supposed to go to Europe and all my PTO is supposed to be used for that. My passport never came in, even though I got
Oh, no.
extradited. Fuck them. Anyways,
Yeah.
Oh my god.
yeah. But we should totally hang out.
Yeah, we should
Yeah,
totally
get down
get a hang.
to LA, not too hard.
Well, I wasn't too that far from
LA.
you when I went up to Vancouver, Keen. I was in Vancouver and Portland for the holiday break. That's where me and Calista went, was to visit her father.
Cool.
So yeah,
Well-
we just couldn't
well-
go anywhere because we drive a California car and not a car that could tolerate ice on the road. That for the 3 of the 6 days we were there, which that was interesting.
In-person finale. Let's do it.
Oh,
That's a little tight for our Texas. And for Jet, where are you at?
Seattle area.
Yeah. Oh, I would have been close to you too. I
Yeah.
remember seeing the freeway sign in Seattle.
I used to live up in Everett.
Oh, I know Everett, Washington. I know where that's at.
It's all right. It rains.
It is what it is.
Not
All right,
great,
everyone.
not
Thank you
bad.
so much for coming
It'll
out
be
and
what it
hanging
be.
out with us as we are gradually winding down this 2-year event, folks.
Oh
my.
Almost 2 years.
Amazing.
Well,
Yeah.
Almost 2 years. I
Yeah.
mean, it's been 1 year.
If
It's
you
in the
will-
second year.
If you
Eh,
count
and a
breaks
half.
and everything that we've been doing, I mean,
We're
we've
playing a
been
while
playing
now.
for a solid year and a half.
Yeah.
But I would say we've been playing almost 2 years now, so it's been a journey.
Mhm.
So thanks everyone for coming out. You guys do not need to stay. You can go ahead and head on out. Everyone else, thank you so much. Be kind, be safe, play a game. It's good for you. These are troubling times, but don't be troubled. Have fun instead. So good night, everyone. Good night, you guys. Be
Bye.
safe. I'll see you
See
next
that
week.
dope outro.
The outro.
Yes,
Oh,
yes, 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 yes.
that's
Yeah.
dope.
I was so happy.